Are we recording? We are recording. Okay. So you're going to be up first. You know what? I think I'm just going to have you come up here. Do you love when you have to do that in first and second grade? Come on, Claire. You don't have to come up here. I hate it when people do it. I was like, everybody's staring at my butt. All right. The Great Awakening. Eric, what was the Great Awakening? What was the first great? What was it? Just in your words. Don't tell me anybody else's words other than your words. What was the Great Awakening? 2 words. You can describe it in 2 words. Can anybody describe what it is in 2 words? Josh, can you describe what it is in 2 words? What you looking like that for? What you doing all that? Come on, man. You've had like one-on-one. Serenity? What? A religious movement. Eric, write this on your paper. Joshua. Am I spelling religious wrong? Religious. There's no I in there, is there? Religious movement. Religious. There is? Okay. It looks weird when you're up here trying to write it as a what?
Can I get another paper so I can write down like the right stuff?
Can you just use a piece of white paper and I'll give it to you? Because I don't know if I have any copies for
That
you.
works too.
Fine.
That works too.
Okay. But you, like last week, you what?
I need
Some paper? Last week you thought you were wrong and you weren't wrong. So don't think that you're wrong.
But my paper is really messy. And
But y'all, messy papers are not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. I'll make you a copy of this, but I don't have any extra copies right now, so I'm just gonna give you, just make you some bullet points. Like make it look like that. Messy is good. Yeah, it is, because y'all gotta quit thinking messy's bad. Like I keep saying, y'all, you need to annotate. 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 Here we go. Annotate. What's that mean?
like,
To what?
Like break it.
Like go break
like
it down.
yeah, break it down.
Understand it.
There you go. That's our teacher word terminology of the day. Miss Saban said the other day, I taught my kids annotation and they can't. I say annotate, they look at me like I'm crazy. Y'all quit looking at her like she's crazy. She thinks I don't know what you're talking about. All right, causation. First Great Awakening was a religious movement in North America. Make sure you put that. All right, who's giving me the first thing? Tell me what you have so you don't think it's wrong.
This is the cause. It brought change for religion.
Okay.
But the effect doesn't make any sense.
Well, hold on a minute. We'll talk through it. Because you said that the other day.
That was close.
No, you did too.
I did.
Uh-huh. Brought what?
It brought change for religion.
Brought change for religion. Okay. Y'all don't have to put this down if you just want to add. Okay, so what do you have as the effect?
Numerous books and essays and inventions were produced. So it doesn't make any sense.
Did you Google that?
No, I actually went on the website that was like linked to the timeline thing.
Okay. You're not wrong.
I'm not.
But you got to make it make sense. Hold your thought. Are you going on her? Okay. Right now we're going to be on her because it makes sense. So, lots of books, essays. What else? What
And
does it put?
inventions
One.
were produced.
So, why would that be an effect of this?
Because if it brought change for religion, that means people started writing about it and then explaining it more
For what purpose?
to educate people.
They didn't really. Did they really use a different word other than educated? Okay. They did not have telephones. They didn't have internet. They didn't have social media. So, why would this make this happen? Along with that, you had the invention of the printing press.
Get the information out.
To get the, yeah. So that makes sense. It got the information out. You had to communicate. To get people to convert, right? So, I mean, that could go down, you could go back into cause and effect there. So see, you just got to talk your way through it. I mean, prior to the invention of the printing press, everything was handwritten. Could you imagine handwriting the Bible? That's how it was. Have you never seen the Book of Eli? Oh my gosh, it's such a good movie. It's like you can watch it 10 times, can't you? This man, his job is the end of the burning books, and he has the one original copy, handwritten copy of the Bible, and like the whole movie. What's his name? It's the dude that does the insurance commercial with the deep voice, isn't it? No, it's not. It's Denzel Washington. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Anyhow, so before that, everything had to be handwritten. You didn't have a printing press. You couldn't copy. So a printing press had little bitty tiles that you stuck in for every single word, and it went on and ink and it pressed it in. Boy, how we have changed, because now we just laser copy. So yes, very good, Claire. All right, Aaron, what you got?
The motivation of religion led to more laid back practices.
That's a good one. But you're going to have to explain it because it's kind of like right reverse what you said. So wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait.
Give me cause again.
The motivation with religion.
Motivation?
Demotivation.
Demotivation. Demotivation?
Yes, the people
Oh, wait a
weren't really
minute.
doing it themselves anymore. They just had like ministers and other people doing it for them.
See, Aaron thinking on a different level. All right. Demotivation.
That led to more laid back practices.
Okay. So you really say what you said again, because that does make sense.
Like,
it's opposite of what you would think it should be, because the Great Awakening was a huge religious movement where everybody was getting the religion on. But it caused people to not be so motivated to seek out. So
and that goes into my next part, Edward and Whitefield's theory, which made people get more religious, get more personal with religion.
I like it. I'm not going to spell personal right. Personal?
There you go.
What's personnel? Personal. Okay.
What's the second effect?
This right here says demotivation of religion. This caused this. And it actually did, if you think about the mentality of it, because it quit being that you were searching and you were trying to find, because that's what was happening. So it's like a totally different, Aaron has delved deep. He has just opened, this is AP level. congratulations, you've AP level. This is really thinking outside the box because everybody thinks about this just being everybody converted, whereas when they came over, they were kind of, and I said it in the video, they were kind of aimlessly going around. Like, I don't have to be a religion. I've been forced to be this religion. Or I'm just going to sign up and hang out with the Quakers for a little while. So they quit actually really being focused on it. So I guess they quit being motivated. And they were actually, they could be atheists, they could be agnostic, they could be Buddhist, they could be Baptist, they could be Pentecostal. But when Edwards and Whitfield came along and they started, then people connected with it and they found connections. That's what they did. And I explained that one time, Joshua, I need you here and now because I need you taking notes. I need you listening. Like literally every word I say, you probably want to write down. So I said, like how he said that in all the sermons it was hellfire and brimstone, fire, 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 torture, torture, torture. That was a personal connection. That's making connections. Because why? What was personal about it? But what was so personal about it? What makes things personal? Experiences? And prior, their experiences when they were in Europe was they were tortured. So they may not have been tortured, but somebody in their family or a friend, they were persecuted to the highest extent for their beliefs. And I say this, like you say, it'd be just like letting y'all go. The Amish do it. When you turn 16, the Amish do this. They actually do this. Because their whole entire life is surrounded around everything religion. I mean, they live with no electricity, no modern conveniences, no button on their clothes. They work from the time they can walk. Everybody has a job. I mean, they're very, and then when you get 16, they let you go. And they let you go out into the world. They get 6 months. You get to make the choice. Am I going to go out into the world and live my life the way I want to? I think, like, really devout Mormons do it too. And then they bring you back and they say, all right, are you going to stick being Amish or are you going to go out in the world and be, and when they do, they denounce you. Like, you're no longer part of the family. You can't come back, da-da-da-da-da. So it's a big decision. But they do that. They just like, and then they come back and they're like, these people crazy. Or I want to live out in the world. So, yeah, okay. Oh, we didn't get very far. Will you swipe that? Give me one. Did you give me one that you have? Who did? Dagan, give me something. Your who's dead? Hayden, what you got? You don't need a whole lot. If I did not comment when I graded the ones that I did grade, then you're where you need to be. I did have some people, however, who it made no sense whatsoever. And at first I was like, they're your notes, do it. But then as I was going through, it was like they, them, this, that. There was no connection. And if you can't make a connection, because you want to be able to write that paper in 45 minutes, right? Yeah. So the more notes you have, and Aaron, I really like this one. Think outside the box. That's a good one. That's really good. What you got, Hayden?
I said the debate over the Great Awakening. The colonists split into groups, but they split into different religious groups.
So what goes where?
The debate over the Great Awakening caused and inflicted the colonists.
Well, what was the debate?
I think it was just people not wanting to switch.
gotta explain it. You got to explain yours. Okay, Hayden.
Then they debate over the religions.
I don't know. You put it. You gotta explain it. Aaron, sit back down. Huh?
I just wrote it down.
But you can't just write it down. You have to be able to explain it. Aaron. Now he can't explain it, so therefore you.
Okay, so they were not debating about what type of religion to believe in, but how they wanted to believe in it. So change to the new refined brimstone way, get more personal with it, or stay with the laid back ways, and that led to the new versus old ways.
This is what it led to. Which goes with what he's saying. These people were the people who fought for freedom, right?
Yes,
These are the people who stayed with the king. So when it comes to, do we want it more personal? It all became personal. Actually, hello, in the part that I wrote for your claim, I said it had to become personal. This was not personal. This was cut and dry. This is how you're going to live and this is how you're going to do it. So Hayden, if you're going to have this, that's what you need. It's no different than if you're in a religion, whatever you may be, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and says, this is what we're going to do. How would you feel? What would you do? Would you be there crazy because they're inventing this stuff, or would you be like, hey, sign me up? So it's no different than anything that happens now. We separate because of our ideologies. So that was the debate, was you all of a sudden had these people who were, God is not this wonderful, great, loving, kind person who's going to nurture and take care of you and take care of us as we've been taught when we, are at the end. If we don't do everything that these people say that we should do, then we're going to live a life, not good life. Yes? Did you get all that? There's a video on it. Okay, well, whatever. I'm going to do... Oh, there it goes. It's going to be your next claim. But honestly, it's kind of where y'all need to be when it comes to PreAP. And once again, does PreAP mean you're smarter? No, it means you think differently than everybody. And some of you, and I'm gonna say this on video, some of your parents really need to think big time, majorly. Like you need to, if you need me to have the talk with them, next year your credits matter. You are struggling in regular this PreAP. 9th grade AP is going to blow you out of the water. And they have to. There's no fixing a grade. So if this has been a struggle, next year, which counts, if you don't pass, you don't pass. It's more serious. Now it's in just summer, give you 2 worksheets. I mean, anybody doing credit recovery, let's not even talk about it. So anyhow, not going to mention his name, gave me the idea, and I'm going to put it up here and we're going to talk about it. But first, this was a great awakening. No, Logan's not a good one because he's going to know.
Excellent.
Tyree. Logan's never says anything, but I know he knows. Tyree, you're going to know it too. If you don't know it, give me 2 words and tell me what the Great Awakening was. It's going to go right here. 2 words. What was the first Great Awakening?
Give me like 3 seconds.
No, you don't. No, I don't want you to look at notes, honey. What was the first great awakening? I'm gonna give you clues. You ever play charades?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Religion.
What was it? Religion and politics.
No. Oh.
Freedom. Freedom. Religious freedom.
Sign language.
Wait, I know that has to do with
What am I
Spread
doing?
of religion.
Marching.
What's another way? What am I doing?
Crazy.
Doing magic.
I'm moving. What is this? Movement.
The movement of religion.
2 words.
The start.
Religious movement.
The start.
Thank you. What?
Ah,
Religious movement.
whatever.
Good Lord. What do you mean, whatever? I said 2 words.
Man, you
I
should
said
say
the
three.
start.
I know I'm bad at math, but I can count from 2. It was a religious movement. What is an awakening? Look.
It's a realization.
Here, look. Yeah, really? It is? Okay. So we're going to do realization. But some people are like, what you mean it's a realization? Don't y'all say he awoke?
Yeah.
You woke yet? But you don't mean like eyes open and out of bed.
Like, are you awake?
Huh? What does it mean to be woke up to something? What is an awakening?
Alert. Alert. You be alert to
To
something.
be, to realize what actually.
Well, we
is.
got realized,
Oh.
but you're awakened about something. Okay, hold on a minute. How many of you have ever been in a relationship? Girlfriend, boyfriend? Gee, y'all don't know what relationship is?
We know what the religion.
Oh my God. And y'all what? What grade? A relationship. Serious relationship. Serious relationship. All right. I'm going to try to skip you because your businesses have been. How many of you have been in a serious relationship? Okay. How long? How long were you in this relationship? Is 2 months a long time? Okay, wait a minute. So, who ended it? You or her? I say her. I don't know if you. Was there an awakening moment? What happened? What was the realization? Why'd y'all decide to break up? What? What did he say?
It
It
was
was toxic, like a toxic relationship.
Oh, it was. So what happened that made you realize it was toxic?
That attitude. Her attitude.
Okay, no, you're not. So here's what I want you to think about. So it was an awakening of sorts, right? So you're not going to say we had an awakening that. Who? Yes, in that cabinet right there. Did you just like wake up and say, whoop, had an awakening, we're toxic?
Nope.
What did attitude?
They just like arguing. They like arguing.
No, that's not I don't really care what happened in your relationship. I care as to what woke you up to that fact that ended it. Like, how would you say it? You're not going to say, I had a great awakening. I'm trying to give y'all some words to make you see what this really was. So it was a realization, but a great awakening. I mean, they used this word first. So it's like,
So you saw what was
What was the cause?
happening.
yeah. No, I don't want a cause. I want a word. I want an adjective for not, you didn't have an awakening. You did have an awakening.
Noticed.
He noticed before.
He was alert.
He was alert before, but then he took action, and it was more so than he noticed it, because we all notice stuff. Anybody ever been cheated on, and you knew it was happening? You knew it was happening, so you knew it, you noticed it, but then there was something more that happened within inside you that said,
You can't.
So all y'all guys are okay. So I'm gonna give y'all what my other kid. When you have an awakening of sorts, here's a lot of kids are really bad in 7th and 8th grade. And then in 9th grade, they start getting more serious because they know what they have to do, and they're like, I was stupid. It's normally boys because, I mean, it really is because 7th and 8th grade boys are a whole different breed of people, and the girls are always like, can you not please grow up soon? And then y'all have this moment, you have this pivotal moment that you're like, oh, I need to get with it. That's an awakening. Okay, so some people said it's being in tune, because if you're truly in tune is 2 words, in tune with yourself, that's an awakening. Those people, y'all know you've had those friends, you're like, why doesn't she get it? She's not in tune with herself. She hasn't come to this awakening. So these folks were being awoke. They were getting in tune. They had a great realization. It was a religious movement. It was a spread of religion in North America, right? Okay, so now I'm going to mess you up. Anybody?
I'm bringing the motivation of religion. The cause and
This is the
effect.
cause. What was the effect? We're talking about the Great Awakening.
They did the Bible. Everybody
They started to think. They
What?
thought for themselves. They thought for themselves. They had independence. They were trying to get.
The Great Awakening.
Talk with them.
The Great Awakening, in your little description of it, it told you what made it different
Okay, I can find it.
than when it came to God. So, demotivation of religion. So it's saying that you're not being motivated to be religious, right?
Yeah.
Baptist. Like Baptist.
The fear.
We're gonna die.
Fear.
I like the fire.
Huh? You're on the right track.
Like the fire.
You are. Anybody? Got anything? She's on the right track. You're on the right track.
Fear.
Why would you say the demotivation of religion?
Because
Not
they were like
motivating.
they were trying to cancel. Wait, what?
I don't know. You started.
They're trying to get rid of the
It was trying to make people not Christian.
People didn't care about it because
If you're not motivated, you don't care.
You don't care about
Yeah,
it.
if you're not
So
motivated.
they wanted people to care.
But we're talking about the First Great Awakening, and we're talking about cause and effect. So the demotivation of religion, how would that go? That seems to contradict the First Great Awakening, which was the movement of religion in the New World.
People like
Huh? Okay, let's go over here. This was, okay, we in England. We're going to put Eng, and then we're going to put US, even though it wasn't the US. We'll make it black. Okay. Who controlled everything over here?
The king.
Nope. Nope.
The church.
I told you, somebody in particular.
The Pope.
Thank you. I spent 10 minutes with second period. I was like, dude in a big white hat, and they're looking at me like the Ku Klux Klan, and I was like, wow, that's a Southern thing. That's not an English thing. The Pope. So the Pope told everybody how they were going to do everything. I know. I'm glad I wasn't videoing, but now I am videoing. So over here, this dude who is the head. If you don't know who the Pope is, he is the head of the Catholic Church.
So they're over the king.
Yes, and I've told you this before. In England, the Pope was over everybody because the Pope is equivalent. I don't know if this is how you used to say it, but is a direct link to God. So the Pope controlled everything. So when we were talking about freedom of religion and stuff, and I told you this in the beginning when we were talking about torture, like everybody, nobody was safe from the Pope, not even the king. Like Tyree is the king and she's the Pope, and Tyree can tend to get on here. You know what? We'll make Molly the king because they're together all the time and studying. And sometimes he just really frustrates her and she's just done. Well, being the Pope, she could like put whatever she wanted. So you had this. This was how you were controlled. This is what controlled you, and you had to be this religion. So then you come to the United States.
And they're saying freedom of religion.
And they're saying freedom of religion. So the demotivation of religion is what started this. So when y'all want to take notes, y'all will continue tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because the bell's about to ring.
Yeah, let's continue tomorrow.
Yeah.
I shouldn't take notes on Monday. I mean videos on Monday because I didn't talk to y'all for 3 days and I really like talking to you.
No, I know.
I like